So, an addendum to what I had to say about A Complete Unknown, the movie. It struck me when I got home, uh, and the next day I investigated, that bringing it all back home, the album before Highway 61, on which How Does It Feel Like a Rolling Stone is included, every other song is rock and roll. I Ain't Gonna Work on Maggie's Farm No More, Subterranean Homesick Blues, great clanky, noisy rock and roll. So I'm not sure. I suppose what must have happened is that the fans went out and bought Bringing It All Back Home. It's a very successful album. And this is, I'm just proposing this. I'm not saying that this is true, but it was moderately successful with a wonderful album, with all kinds of fantastic material. All those albums were, and they remain fantastic. Rough and Rowdy Ways is a fucking work of genius 60 years later. But all I could imagine was that the problem with Like a Rolling Stone was that Like a Rolling Stone, he became a huge megastar. That was the big hit. That was, if you like, the populist one. And the Team Dylan, self-created by the team, by the groupies, by the fans, by Joan Baez, by that whole community, was scandalized because, I guess, because he'd become populist, and he betrayed them. And there's great little pieces of film of Mancunians up there in Manchester in England the year after, going, "Oh no, it's disgusting, it's really terrible what he's doing, and what's that, it's a joke, and I don't know what he's," like this sort of thing. And I thought, well, it sounded like the Southern conservatives talking about Elvis. And this compulsion is not good for us. And it seems to be a universal one. It seems to be something that we do quickly and very readily at some certain point in our lives. And I wonder whether a solution to a lot of things in this life might be if we found a way, rites of passage, something to get us away from this team mentality until it is appropriate, until you have, discovered who you are, man, which can happen quite young. Anyway, I think progressives along these lines have a decision to make as they explain their position in the nation, in the world. I'm glad they're here finally, and we're not confusing them with Democrats anymore. Just to clarify, if they, we, I put on the colors and the badge of progressivism, answer this: is your work to change the Trump voters' mind or to identify them and condemn them? Demonize them? I guess the third option is to think that by identifying and condemning, you are changing them. That is very Western, the male way of arguing, very often the right-wing way. I defeat you as humiliatingly as possible, and this will change your mind. Oh, it doesn't. It not change your mind, I guarantee it. As I have run into it recently, and remembering past instances, rightness, righteousness, being right are right. They become identity, and it's hard to keep it up. You stop listening. Mark Lamont Hill, terrific journalist, challenges Cenk Uygur, also terrific, with this problem. Cenk has taken to sitting and talking with self-confessed racists. Now, is that true? Or are they people who Mark has decided are racist? I would say that it's a decent guess with most white people. Deep down, we have been indoctrinated at least 1,000 years in racism. And we've not done any purging, let me tell you. The issue in Gaza is deep down racist. The founding was racist with fireworks. It is everywhere, all the time, all over. Kamala Harris' response to Gaza, like Joe Biden's, is racist. It's a racist project. Charlie Kirk is the racist to whom Mark was speaking, to whom Cenk was speaking, forgive me. A quick scan of his pages allows me several assumptions. I'd have super disagreements with that, with what I registered as him, no doubt. He leads with his bona fides. Mark has done the same thing, and he's black, and I really like how he does what he does. This is Mark Lamont Hill. I'm not sure. I'm struggling with progressives being as right-wing in practice as right-wingers for real. Exclusivism, exceptionalism, racism, demonization have always sat with me as conservative. From Churchill to Douglas Murray, pride and advocating for Europeanism, painting the red door gold, revising the acts and motives of colonialism, making anything in this history great again, is repugnant to me and has been conservatism to me. Now, by this, my subjective definition, there are a lot more conservatives than we admit. Demonizing anyone is conservative. To me, it has the same snarling grin. I do actually remember this with Dylan when he went down and made Nashville Skyline. There were people in Cambridge, Massachusetts going, "Oh my God, we've lost him to the racists." Bernie Sanders was pilloried for going on a Fox News town hall. What he did was convince the studio audience that Medicare for all was in their interest. And then I'm pretty sure the pillorying got even more strident as news of the success got out, as news of Like a Rolling Stone got out. They seemed very preoccupied with this loyalty. After my thoughts, the loyalty that Bernie generated, and then he was betraying them. After my thoughts on the last election, I have been found to be misogynist, homophobic, anti-trans, racist, and what else? Could be. I don't know. I don't make any claims. What else is there? Whatever I might be inside, in action, in engagement, pales beside the usefulness of those labels, and how easy it is, therefore, to dismiss me and demonize me. Listening to the Majority Report, it's very present over the holidays, where Katie Halper and Brianna Joy Gray, my go-tos, have taken deserved breaks. Fast become bitch sessions about their perceived enemies. I got attacked last week for being an arty type in my thoughts about the Daniel Neely Penny thing, controversy. It just seemed that my contestant my combatant, they sought out and found a means to dismiss me. A conservative act to me. I hope that Cenk changed Charlie Kirk. I very much doubt it, and vice versa. I think that the idea that Cenk has is that to sit down with these people and to present oneself as, friendly and listening and taking them on is a sign of respect, and that will be a useful thing going forwards. I agree with him. I'm not sure that the way he goes about it or the way Charlie Kirk goes about it will have that result. But, that's what he's saying. It's certainly better than not speaking to them at all. The people discussing it are assuming that Cenk, a famous left-wing progressive type talker, is folding and kneeling to the right. Now, I haven't seen this. I haven't seen any use in these meetings either, like Greenwald's new love affair with Elon Musk or Tucker Carlson. These men all claiming, these arguing, and I guess this is the thing that troubles me. This is the thing that sounds very Catholic and very conservative, is that these people, men, 90% of the time, the women are a lot better at it. My new favorite, Saba, black woman. Anyway, this thing of getting together and saying, this is the human condition, and this is what's going on, and that is what is going on, is conservative. It's like you don't know. You're not there. You're speculating on something. It's like the argument about anecdotal evidence. Anecdotal evidence is the only evidence. Non-anecdotal evidence is something that you've read. It's somebody else's opinion, and you read more of it, and you get footnotes of their opinions, and you bring that to the discussion. You're not there. Conservative. It isn't the intuition that bothers me. The thoughts are very clunky, but it is the insistence that repels me. The native male insistence that always looks conservative, patriarchal, and oppressive, and sounds shrill. Even when Che Guevara did it, it looked like that. It looked bad.